Hello, welcome back. You're listening to the Girl versus Life podcast, a part of Girl versus Planet. My name is Cheryl. I am your host, and thank you guys for listening today and maybe watching. We're available on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about a feeling that I have been having lately. I did a podcast several weeks ago about where I talked about unemployment and how I'm dealing with it and um, just kind of what I thought at that point about how to best handle it. And I want to talk a little bit more about some kind of feeling today. And that is that I guess I kind of realized lately that it feels like everything in my life, when I make a decision, any kind of decision that I make lately, it feels like all of my decisions are based on, will this make me money or will this take money away? And I guess I just really hate feeling that way. It seems like to me that that's just not, it's so frustrating. It's frustrating to go through life that way because I feel like it takes away my authenticity. Like my reasons for doing anything, my reasons for doing this podcast or creating any kind of content, anything creative. Before I was in a safe, secure place financially. And now, having been unemployed for about 6 months now, I feel like all of my decisions are made based on money. And I feel like it makes me less of the person that I was. Like, I feel like I'm a very authentic person. Like I try to be. I try to be real with people and I just try to be authentic in all of my interactions. Like I'm just not a fake person. That's just not really who I am. And so what you see is what you get. You guys should know that from this podcast. It is far from perfect. I mean, if you're watching, like you can see, like this is really a crappy, frizzy hair day and just I'm authentic. That's like the one big thing I have going for me is I'm real. And this dealing with this scarcity, like not being sure where my next source of income is going to come from is frustrating because I feel like every decision that I make, everything that I'm trying to do, I'm thinking about it because I'm like, okay, I should be constantly trying to get a source of income. I feel like all of my interactions, all of my decisions, everything that I do should be trying to get some kind of income from somewhere. I hate that, not just because it's stressful and frustrating, but just because it makes me feel like I'm not being real. Like, I don't do this podcast to make money. It would be nice because I don't have a source of income right now if it somehow did make me money. So I'm thinking about that. And I just hate that things are coming from that place. This is not just about unemployment, it's about scarcity and not having a lot. Like, I don't know how you grew up. My family, when I grew up, did not have a lot of money. My dad was self employed, he had his own business, and we didn't always know like where our income was coming from. And so it goes back to that. And I thought I'd gotten past that point in my life, but it's honestly, it is, it's something that anybody could run into. I guess, if you have a ton of money saved and, you're doing all right, maybe you're a millionaire. I don't know. If any millionaires are listening to my podcast, let me know because I could use your help right now. It's just, I hate that mindset, like the mindset of scarcity. It's not just from people that are unemployed. Maybe you are a freelancer or you have a side hustle or you're trying to monetize doing what you love and you just don't know where the income is coming from. It's a hard balance to do things and want to be authentic, but then also you need that money. Yeah. And it's so frustrating for me. It's basically your brain is prioritizing survival. I know that that's where I'm coming from right now because I uh, I'm still unemployed. I'm still looking for my next full-time job, trying to find some way to make money. And I just feel like that's constantly on my mind. My every waking thought is consumed by how do I get money right now? And I don't want it to be that way. I want to think about what I like, what I enjoy doing, doing this podcast for you guys and having a creative outlet. I don't want to think about the money aspect of it, but I'm forced to. And it's so frustrating because that's not who I am. I'm an authentic person and I try to be in everything. And it's really hard to do when you need money. I'm not saying this to ask you guys. That's not my goal. That is not at all what this is about. It's about just how I'm feeling right now and how frustrated I am that I feel like this has taken over my life. Because who am I right now? I feel like the only thing that I have to say is I'm an unemployed person. And that is so frustrating because that's not me. I mean, obviously it is, it's part of who I am, but there's so much more to me than just being unemployed. And it's just how your brain is perceiving that threat of where your next source of income is going to come from. So, like in the day to day, it feels like anything that I do because I don't have a specific job right now. There are things that I'm doing like the podcast, trying to plan stuff for my YouTube channel, the job search, trying to reach out to different people and make contacts, and just everything is about making that money though, or trying to. And all of the thing like I'm at the point where I just examine everything that I do. I'm like, can this make me money? I think the frustrating part of it is because it feels like anything that I do, and even to the point of who I am, only has value if it's making money. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a lot of value right now because I don't have a permanent source of income like I used to. And I feel like if I wake up in the morning and say I want to go see a movie, I feel guilty because I'm spending money, and I feel guilty because I'm not using that time to try to get a job. And it's frustrating. It's really sucked a lot of enjoyment out of my life, and especially creatively, because like anything I think about, anything that I do creatively, like I mean, making this podcast, for one example, everything I'm like, if I'm just creating just to create, then there's no value, and I should be trying to find a way to make money out of it because I don't have a source of income right now. It's like I can't just do something for me for the sake of enjoyment or for the sake of creating, because literally everything I do, I feel guilty because I'm not making money or trying to find a way to make money out of it. Like every hobby becomes a potential side hustle. Every skill becomes, should it be a product? Should I make something? Should I do something? How can this earn me money? Nothing gets to just exist. And I feel guilty for not trying to monetize or trying to do everything. Also feel, here's another aspect of it. I also feel I feel like I should be doing everything perfectly, because every job rejection that I get, or every meeting that I have, every contact that I make, if nothing comes of it, if I get a rejection, I'm like, what did I do wrong? Like, what did I do that wasn't perfect? All the jobs that I apply for, and I apply to a lot of jobs, and they are pretty much all ones that I feel qualified for. Like, there are a lot of jobs out there that I go and I look at the qualifications, and I'm like, yes, I can do that. I can do that. I have experience in that. And I send in my resume, and I either don't hear from them or I get a rejection. So I am constantly trying to figure out, what did I do that could have been better? Like, somebody got that job. Somebody got an interview for that job. What did they do that I didn't do? Did I fill out my resume wrong? Did I format it weird that it just got tossed out by the automated, like the applicant tracking system? I have no idea how these companies are picking resumes, who they pick to interview. I know the AI and ATS, applicant tracking systems, are used a lot, but I don't know what criteria exactly they look at. And they're probably all different. So there's no way that I could do it perfectly, but I'm still find myself constantly trying to do that. So like when I started Girl versus Planet, I feel like there's a part of me that, even though I think that I'm not creative, I also think that everybody's creative in some way. And maybe you just have to find out how you're creative. And that could look a lot of different ways. Uh, it was when everybody needed like a Twitter handle that represented them, but everybody had numbers in theirs or whatever. And somehow along the line, I came up with the thought of Girl versus Planet. And it's really just, it's kind of, I guess, think if you remember the old TV show Boy Meets World, it's something like that, but it's kind of just me tackling life on Earth, Girl versus Planet. And I honestly really love it. And I've gotten compliments on that name. And it's never taken anywhere that I sign up. Nobody else has apparently thought of it. And for me, that was kind of always like, it encompasses me. It's a part of what I am. And there's that authenticity. That's a part of it too. And then I created this podcast last December. I started podcasting, and I know I need to be more consistent about it, and I'm working on that. But Girl versus Life, this was just a place to take the Girl versus Planet brand and me and just talk about, I mean, whatever I'm thinking about. Take that authenticity and that creativity to the microphone. That's what it is. So to not be able to feel like I can be authentic because I constantly have to feel guilty because, hey, right now I'm recording a podcast that's not making me any money. Should I feel guilty about that? I do, because how am I going to pay my bills? It's so frustrating. So I don't necessarily have a solution. This is kind of just where I'm at right now. Every single podcast, when I record these, I pick a topic like the day that I record it. And I'm basically like, okay, what am I thinking about today? What do I want to talk? It's literally just, what do I want to talk about today? And you guys can listen or not. If you don't like it, turn it off. That's fine. Whatever. And so I guess kind of what these podcasts are about is what I'm noticing. And this is what I'm noticing right now about myself, is that I feel guilty and I feel frustrated and I feel worthless sometimes because I feel like my whole life has been about trying to find a way to make money. And I hate that because it takes away my authenticity and it takes away my creativity. And it's just so freaking frustrating, honestly. A couple of things that have helped me lately. And I don't remember, these are just things that I've noticed and things that have come from different places that I've heard that have been helpful to me. So if you're in this situation too, where you're like a freelancer or you're unemployed or you are in a place of scarcity where it feels like you need to figure out how to get money, then maybe this will help you. One is that there are things that I am not in control of, and I am not in control of what these companies do with my resume. I am not in control of what they think of me when I'm on an interview. I can't be perfect because that doesn't really, I mean, maybe there's a perfect person that perfectly fits this role that they're looking to fill. Maybe they just didn't give me enough of a chance. I don't know, whatever. But there's things that I can't control. Like, I can't control if my resume goes into the hands of the hiring manager or into the trash can. So worrying about that and trying to figure that out is not going to do me any good. Also, I look at my life, and I'm not getting like religious or really spiritual here or anything, but just looking at this from kind of a place of power versus an unempowering mindset about it. There's a lot of things in my life where things have worked out. I don't want to get into it too much on here because it's very personal, but I'm a caretaker for my mom, and she lives in another state, so it's difficult. And there's been a whole kind of journey as this caretaker journey that I'm on with her. And a couple years ago, I was overwhelmed at the thought of the journey that I knew I was probably going to have to take in her situation. And now, where I'm at, I feel like the decisions have been made correctly. That journey, it's still a journey, it's still ongoing, but there's a lot of things that have happened that have changed. And I've had to deal with those. And I feel like not only did I somehow do my best and things worked out, but I also feel like in that journey, there was a lot of people and I was lucky. I was lucky and blessed because there was a lot of people and I had help along the way that I didn't expect to have. And that journey somehow worked out to the best, honestly, I think, as at least as best it can. And so things work out. Like, I mean, the jobs I've had before, people in my life, things I've done, it kind of just works out. And so I had a kind of session with a person that's kind of like a mentor. And she pointed out, things work out for you like that, and this is the reason. And even if you don't believe this, I mean, even if you look at it as like just there's no higher power, the universe isn't like controlling or, stuff happens however it happens. And you can look at it as the universe or God or whoever had control over that, or they didn't. But either way, something happened a certain way. And the most empowering way to look at it, in my opinion, is that things happened that way because that is how they were meant to happen. So all of these jobs that I have applied for that I didn't get them because I wasn't meant to get them. The job that I had that I got laid off because my time at that job was over and that's how it was meant to be. So taking that mindset and looking at the future, it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. Like, just that's it. There's things I have no control over, and there are things that happen because that's the way they were meant to happen. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's not the case. I mean, there's no other way to look at it, honestly. Like, yeah, things happen because of choices, but you can't look at something and say, oh, that happened. It wasn't meant to happen, but it happened. I mean, it did happen. So obviously it was meant to happen. That's kind of hard to explain. Maybe you think of it differently. I don't know. I mean, if you have thoughts on that, let me know. I'd love to hear somebody else's thoughts on it too. But so that's kind of where I'm coming from. The last few weeks have really been a struggle because of this. I hate feeling like if I'm doing something just for my own enjoyment or fun or mental health, which I need because my mental health has been kind of crap lately. But the things that I do for that, I feel like anything that I do that's not to make money or to save money or to get money, I feel like I shouldn't be doing it. And that is not a fun way to live. That is not a way to live. That's not a life. It's frustrating. So, like what I said, those things are what's helped me. I'm in a better place, I feel like, at least this week, at least today, at least right now. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, the next few minutes, let alone next week. So, but I just kind of thought I'd bring that to you guys. I mean, ultimately, just talking about how scarcity steals your authenticity. And it's frustrating because my authenticity is a part of who I am. The scarcity is just what's in my life right now. And I would rather keep what's truly me than my circumstances. So, anyway, yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you got something out of this. Like I said, you can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I hope you'll keep listening and I will keep making episodes for you. Thanks for joining. I will talk to you again next week. Bye.